Alright, so today we got another video idea. So we're gonna look at an out west type of style track. So as you know, JACKBOYS dropped their project a couple days ago. I think it was like last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So the out west song on there was specifically Travis and Thugger. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, make sure to stop by cmpkits.com and pick up a copy of The World Is Yours, Volume 1. 20 royalty-free compositions created by yours truly. And yeah, so if you haven't got that, pick up a copy of that. And currently working on more installments. So let's get into this beat. So when I listened to it, what I mainly heard was just the flute. But in this version, I decided to add a guitar and a filtered out pad. So I started with these chords. Here they are. So I started with these chords. It's like some basic chords, kind of just open voicings. Alright, so from there, I thought, alright, so this flute definitely isn't played in chord sets. So I took these chords and drew out this flute melody right here and just made sure it followed the chords accordingly. So as you see, like, it'll kind of line up and create the chords. Basically, it's like the middle, like a tonal center of the chord. So the melody was actually like the tonal center of the chord. So some of these notes I inverted because you see up here, I brought them down here for the main flute melody. So you can get this. That's your flute melody, and that's the same across the board. Then I took and layered the flute melody with an acoustic guitar just for some texture on the hook. And then a pad. It's a low pad. So once you got that, the melody pretty much stayed the same the whole time, and it has like a vintage kind of vibe to it. So I threw RC20 on here, messed with the parameters a little bit, turned the noise down, because I'm not usually a big fan of the way the noise is and the retro color. I just usually like the wobbles and the distortions. And I used the Arturia reverb. It's like a thin reverb, kind of played with it a little bit just to give it some air. And then I ran the Sound Toys effect drag, just a basic preset to get it some punch. So there's that. And let's take a look at these drums, because for this track the drums is where it gets the most interesting. So right off the bat, these two notes were originally here. I inverted them. I sent them up an octave because that's how it sounded in the original song, and I didn't want to do a whole nother bass sound because I actually like the way that sounded. Let me see something. Alright, so I did that throughout here just to kind of switch it up, because when I think Buddha produced this beat, or produced the original one at least, and so when you have them down here it's cool, but when you go up here it gives it a vibe, so it adds texture and movement throughout. And I did that on different ones, and then like where Travis will come in at, it's like the same, and then on Thugger's parts it's like pitched up. So I thought that was pretty cool. The kick is your basic trap kick pattern, and your snares on the 3 like normal, and some simple hi-hats, you know, your 16th note triplet rolls tastefully throughout. And so this is what we got. So as you hear right there, there's that filter sweep. So cut out about 1K, anything from 1K and above got cut, and there is a loop operator on here that doubles up and right after hits with the vinyl scratch. That was something I caught ear of while I was listening to the original. So as far as this goes, this is really one of the more simpler tracks. It's very open for the artist because Travis and Thugger have those unique voices, and they create melodies with their own voice because they are the artist, so they are the main instrument. So something you want to take away from a track like this is make sure that top melody line, that flute is nice and warm, and you can add texture here, because more than likely, I could be wrong, but it was possibly a sample that they probably used from somewhere or something along those lines. And yeah, so just add texture, do your drums, add some movement throughout the 808, try filter here and there, do a little bit of bus processing with like a loop operator and what have you, and add little drops in there here and there, and you got yourself an Out West type beat. So this is Matthias. Don't forget to stop by cmpkits.com and pick up a copy of The World Is Yours, and I'll catch you in the next one.